G'day guys and gals, H here. Welcome back to part 2. Now the first trick I'm going to fill you in on pretty much is all about naming the dinos. For ages and ages I come across people that are raging at their teammates, their tribe mates, their partners, myself included. Time and time again someone's leveled the dino and you don't know what stats it was. It's not important to some, but to a breeder it's really important. Now these dinos I've got now, these RGs, I've basically got to take them into a dangerous spot, so I've got to level them. But they're all breeders. These are the first pack of 5 that I've grabbed. I want to have a good look at all of them. I want to crossbreed them, and to do that I need to know what stats they are. So before I level them, I name them their individual stats. So this one has a 607 melee. I put 607 melee on it as its name. The health, the weight. If it has that one stat, I put that stat as its name. What that allows me to do when I'm looking at the babies when they're growing up, when they just hatch, all I have to do is check the ancestors and I can see the names of the parents and the stats that they had. And I know instantly if the baby has the stats I desire. I don't have to go back and check the parents. I don't have to go and check this. I don't have to go and check that. It's right there in front of me. It saves massive amounts of time. If you imprint them or you need to level them, the stats change. Do yourself a favour and name the dinos the stats. That's the first big trick. Now, what I want to do is this first batch, I got reasonable health, I got good stam, I got good weight. The melee, yeah, it's the best I've got so far. So I want to cross all those stats and I want to put them into one dino. So what I'm doing is I breed that one with the health and that one with the weight, or that one with the health and that one with the stam, and so on, until I get a baby that has 2 of those stats. If it's a male and the father has the same stat as one of the stats transferred onto the baby and another stat from the female, that becomes the new male breeder. So to be clear, if I get 6200 health and the 1048 weight on a male, then that becomes my new male breeder, and then that has a chance to transfer those 2 stats onto its babies. So if it's a male, it has to have the same stat as the father had originally. So if that father had 2 stats you want to keep, it has to have both of them. Now if it's a female and it has any of the stats, whether the stat you want to keep from the female or the stat from the male, you keep it. Females are all useful. Even if it has no stats, it's worth keeping for later on, but you can chop up a few of them. I kill so many babies, it's not funny. I'm sorry for those that are a bit squeamish, but I kind of get, if you don't get used to it, don't breed. You end up hitting your dino cap limit so fast it's not funny. So take those females and put them aside. The ones that have got stats, you breed them with males that don't have the same stats as them. So if this male has the health and that female has the weight, breed them together and hope for a male with the weight and the health. Now, according to some sources, Wildcard said forever that transferring the stats is a 70% chance for the highest stat. Reddit and people that data mine it say it's 55 and so on. It doesn't really matter. Just keep going until you get those stats across. Don't worry about the percentage chances or whatever. It happens. If you're unofficial, this takes a long time. There's a really simple way of getting around it. Tame 100 females. Tame 10, tame 20, tame 30. The more females you have, the more chances you have of getting multiple dinos with multiple stats on them. The level doesn't matter. In fact, I would highly suggest tame low levels. I'll show you in the next video exactly why, and it's a pretty major PvP tactic I've used in the past. But go and get yourself 20 females, all level 10, 15, 20. There's lower levels you can find, and you'll see why. But bottom line is, you want to increase that breeding pool. On official, taking time between your breeding sessions, it's a must, because they literally take that long before they can be mated again. For the dinos to grow up, it's a massive pain. Luckily I'm playing on the Vanaheim servers and it's 20 times. It makes things a lot easier, but with things like official, just go and get yourself more females. You'll speed up things exponentially and kill them all later as soon as you're done with them. Now, what you want to get is those stats over, and basically you bring all those stats together until you've got a male that's got all the stats. Once you've got a male that's got all the stats, and this is really important, it cannot have any mutations. So if you get any mutations along the way, put them aside. Keep them, but put them aside and have a look at them later. I'll go through mutations and such in the next video as well. But what's really important is that you get that male with all the stats on it, no mutations. And you have to get at least one female with all the stats on it, no mutations. Now, get all those stats on one male, get all those stats on one female, and breed them together. When you get the baby, if it's a male, put it aside, kill it, do whatever you want with it. Use it. It becomes a dino with all the stats. It's very, very usable. It's fantastic. If it's a female, you add it to the breeders. So now instead of one egg, you've got 2 eggs. Guaranteed stats every time. And you repeat that process again and again and again until you've got as many females as you want as a breeding pool. The more females you have and the more you can breed in one sitting, the much higher chances you have of mutations. Alright, so it's only about 2.5% chance to get a mutation. So if you're breeding one dino, you could literally breed it 50, 60 times and still not get a mutation. If you're breeding 40 dinos, chances are you're going to get a mutation every single time. Now, that's important. Get your breeding stock. Get the dinos all with all the stats and make sure they're clean. Now, I'll explain fully in the next one why they've got to be clean, but no mutations allowed. Now, once you get all those stats together, you've got your dinos, and you're producing dinosaurs that are literally, yeah, they're OP. They're already OP. They've got amazing stamina, amazing health, amazing weight and melee and so on. These stats are already above anything anybody else has got. Because those stat allocations, if you've got 70 points or 60 points in every single stat, the dinosaur is just fantastic. And this is before you even start mutations. So crossbreeding the stats is the key to get those god dinos even before you've even started mutating them. Get all the stats you want, whether it's just health and melee, whether it's just weight for a Dodi, for an Anki, that sort of stuff. Anki, health, melee, weight. For a Dodi, same deal. Get those stats where you want them, and it'll make a huge difference before the next phase of what you're about to do. Now, as you can see, I've got the weight, I've got the health on one. This one I've got the health and the melee. As long as it's got a couple of stats, I can crossbreed it with dinos that don't have those stats, and it makes things a lot easier. So that one, I put a note on it, breed with stam and weight, just to remind myself to, okay, I want to cross this one with that one. Use notes, use every tool you can to help your job get a little bit easier. This first bit of crossing all the stats, it's a headache. The more females you got, the more chance you've got. Put in that bit of work at the start and you'll be rewarded for it later, again and again and again, and everything gets so much easier. And here's the end result. Dinos with all the stats, and oh my god, they're wow. And I haven't even started mutating them yet. See you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed it. Well, I managed to help in any way. Have a good one.